Hello again, welcome to the third and advanced. It's not too advanced, so if you don't sort of worry about it too much. It's Castles Made of Sand by Jimi Hendrix, a particular favourite of mine. Starts off with a chord, typical kind of Hendrix sound, and it just slides the same shape up and down. So once you've got your hand in position, you slide down 2 frets, back up, jumps up again, and then comes back down again. Sounds like this. It's quite wearing, actually. It's quite one of those things that you need to develop the calluses on the fingers a little bit before you can do that without it shredding your hands. But it's a lovely sound. The G string remains open all the way, so it has a sort of a kind of a drone aspect to it. Next, we're introducing a new technique, which is a slide. Basically, sliding from the 5th fret of the 6th string to the 7th fret, and then again later on, represented as well, depending on which direction you're going in. If you're coming down, it will slide backwards. So this would be a forward slash. There, what we did is we have on the 7th fret of the 2nd string. It's all written on the tab, as you can see, and then you tap the little finger onto the 10th fret, which is quite difficult because the little finger is less developed than the other fingers, doesn't get used as much. So you just practice it. Literally, just I'm using it with the right hand, and I'm just getting used to tapping that on. The skill here is really to try and make sure that you're close to the fret itself, as always, really, but that will ensure you get a nice crisp sound. And then we're using the little finger again to hammer off. You can practice that just without making any sound and muting it. So it's 2 specific techniques happening in sequence. So together, although you pluck it originally, and they call that a trill when you have the 2 legato notes or 2 smooth flowing notes into one another, and you use this technique to kind of flutter between them. You can sustain it for longer. Again, that's a very good thing to try and practice, to literally just do the 2 techniques. Try not to rush it, go at a speed that's comfortable. It's always recommended. Another hammer on there. This is where you hammer on twice. Fairly intricate stuff, but really with any of this kind of thing, it's a case of just working on it section by section. Repetition is the thing. All of it's very attainable, very possible, and it's just a question of trying to ingrain it into the physical experience rather than keeping it in your head. It's a nice intro. I mean, not only because it sounds great, it's actually quite smooth flowing. It sounds more complicated than it is in a way. But really, it encompasses all of these different techniques. So you have hammer-ons, slides, pull-offs, and they're all happening, fairly close in sequence. So you have to be fairly fluent and flexible to do that. So it's well worth working on this particular intro. And I will put in the verse as well, because we've done all the chords involved in the previous lessons. So. pentatonic scale. It's worth considering how those notes can occur in different places up the neck. You have different positions basically to do the same thing. If you know about tuning the guitar, you'll know that the 5th fret generally corresponds to the string underneath, open, except for the 2nd string is tuned differently, so for the 3rd string you go down, but it's a bit confusing. If you don't know this, don't worry about it. What you can do though is then you can take the next portion, so you just work on the back of what we've already done with these notes on the 3rd fret, 2nd fret going down with the pentatonic, and then you add then the 5th fret except for the 3rd string, that one, so it ends up being the next position. It's good. It's a good idea to try and learn these different positions. You can get a bit fixed in one position and then it starts to influence the sounds that you create and the possibilities with note, well, the way you would treat a note. So if you were used to bending this note in the blues scale, for instance, in the pentatonic scale, in the first positions we learnt it, then you would instead be doing this. You just translate the same habit into a new position. So it's a good thing to do to change if you want to move forward. And then you just trace the notes up and work out how they happen in different places. So here it would be the same notes, but see, it's the same thing as what you did down here. It keeps on going up further on that. What do we have next? Yeah, so it's quite an insight into Hendrix's playing actually when you start to get used to playing different combinations, different positions. You kind of see how he pieces together a lot of his riffs.